I'm a quite dedicated person. When I get interested in something, an idea or a new material or something, I really can spend endless hours in the studio. Or also, it's always been like that. When I get a new interest, I was very dedicated to dance training when I was younger, and also literature, and yeah, a lot of different interests. What can I say more? I'm a listener more than a talker. I think what made great impact for me is when I grew up, my mother was an artist. So I saw her creating things, and I was like, yeah, a child, but I could use her materials, and I was sitting beside her and creating my stuff, and it was like I developed my own language. So it's always been very natural for me to use my hands to express feelings and yeah, make art. So that's what I always wanted to do.
So, what's your first impression when you first saw introduction of fiber on the art museum? What do you think of this concept?
Yeah, it's very impressive. With it's so resourceful with all the technical equipment and the great, it's such a great space. So for me, it just sounds like a museum with endless possibilities. I can't wait to go there. For me, art is a language that sometimes communicates on a deeper and more instinctive level than words alone. It's a kind of therapy to communicate with your subconscious, with creating with the hands.
Yes.
It's like thoughts that you don't have access to in normal life, just leaks out. So I think it's very fascinating. I never decide before exactly how a piece of work will turn out. It's like I follow. It's like I dance with the material in some way, that sometimes I take the lead and set out the direction, and sometimes I just use my sensitivity and see what the piece wants to become, and follow. So it's like a choreography in some way. And yeah, I also have a background in dance, with many years of training in classical ballet and modern dance. So I think my interest for expression through movement, it comes alive in my sculptures, and the textile material, it makes them transformable. Yeah, the format is a kind of wall sculpture that also make the shadow like part of the work. And it looks almost like a dried flower or something.
Yes.
But okay, so I show you, I have some like silk paintings here that I made based on this sculpture.
Oh.
I like to play around with associations and different forms and themes, and how they are connected in some way, or just in my mind. Here is another piece. It's called Transcendence, and it's a large scale sculpture. It's made in a material called rami, and I have some other images of it when it's installed in other spaces. And here is a third one. So as you see, it's very transformable. It becomes a bit different each time I install it. And I think it's interesting to find different movement, energy, and expression from the same material. for me, this piece is about fear of and longing for belonging to, being connected to other human beings, to one's family, to society, and how our actions make impact on the world we live in. And many of the works I did the last years reflect my experience of pregnancy and giving birth and being a parent. And it's joyful and meaningful to be essential in someone else's life, but it's also an experience of losing your independence and being tied to others. And I always been a very independent person, with taking care of myself and setting my own needs first, maybe. So it's been a bit challenging for me, but very interesting experience. This is one of my textile paintings. It's called Observer. And for me, it always feel like I'm being observed by this, like it's a big eye or something, that it almost want to suck me in. My plan, I really hope that it will get more back to normal, that soon the pandemic is maybe over. I don't know, but I hope, of course, so it can be possible to travel again. And
what advice do you have for young people who dream of becoming artists or fashion designer?
I would say spend much time in your studio, put a lot of hours in your work and really focus on the work and your relation to what you want to express and why it's important for you. I think it's quite difficult today for many young people because they are so used to get immediate reward. And I think as an artist, it's very important to create your own mental space and not care too much about what others think about you and your work. So, yeah, be quiet, spend much time on your work, and don't think about it, what other people will think about it, or if it will be successful or not. Just put effort and hours and feeling in what's important for you to do with your art.